Have you ever wondered why pain is part of life? Nobody likes pain, and nobody hopes to be experiencing pain or to be playing with pain. Nobody wakes up in the morning hoping to experience disappointment, hoping to experience heartbreak, hoping to experience failure or loss, rejection or suffering of whatever sort or whatever category. Yet, pain remains one of the greatest teachers of life. The truth is simple. While success makes us comfortable, patience teaches us some lessons of life which are germane to our well-being and to our mental health to make us wiser. In the next couple of minutes, we shall look at some of the lessons we can learn from pain in life. Here I have about 15 lessons. So follow me as we go along. Number 1, pain teaches us resilience. Pain reveals the strength that you may not know that you have. Difficult seasons often develop in our life, and going through those difficulties and overcoming them make us to be more resilient, give us endurance, teaches us courage, and give us the ability to keep moving forward in spite of the challenges and the pains. Number 2, pain teaches us humility. While success may be bringing about pride and a lot of other things, pain can sometimes humble us from being overconfident. Pain reminds us of our limitations, of our shortcomings, to know that a tree cannot make a forest, that we need other people in the journey of life to perfect our joy, to perfect our happiness, because we are social animals. Number 3, pain teaches us empathy. Because if you never felt pain before, you may not understand what the other person is talking about. For example, you never experienced hunger before. When a child is talking about hunger, or you're talking about some people feeling hunger, not having enough to eat, you may not understand, you may not appreciate what they're going through. So pain teaches us empathy because you have passed through that road before. So when somebody else is talking about pain or discomfort or disappointment or failure or loss, you can reflect and understand and empathize and give a helping hand wherever necessary. So 3 is pain teaches us empathy. Number 4, pain reveals to us what really matters. Because in life, we try to delve into so many things, but many people discover real priorities of life when pain makes them to make certain decisions that open their eyes wide to options available to them, and now they need to prioritize. Often after experiencing maybe some form of loss or illness or disappointment or hardship, then they learn to sift their priorities, their scale of preference, opportunities open to them. So pain shifts often our focus from material things to relationships, to purpose, to health, and to faith. Number 5, pain encourages growth. Growth really happens in comfort zone. That's where you sometimes hear motivational speakers say, leave your comfort zone, leave your comfort zone. And when you leave your comfort zone, then that means you have to go through some pain. You are making some sacrifice. And after that, you realize that it's better you have left that position, that attitude, that way of life. Like to live with a healthy bouncing body, then say go to the gym, do exercise. Initially when you say exercise, it may be painful. Like when you do squatting, you feel pain in your thighs. When you jog, when you skip, but later you find that yes, it makes your life better. So challenges force us to learn new skills, new abilities, better habits, and become wiser individuals. That's why I say challenge is the mother of invention. 6, pain teaches us patience because some things don't go away easily. like some illnesses, some poor habits, some painful situations don't get fixed easily. So waiting through the difficult periods before we get to the other side, when we experience the joy and the peace and happiness we desire, we may need to have patience, develop patience and emotional maturity. Pain sometimes also exposes some weaknesses we have in our life. You may have believed, overconfidence in yourself, that I can do this, I can do that, I am this, I am that. But when some things happen, remember when we talk about pain, we have physical pain, we have psychological pain, we have emotional pain, we have spiritual pain. So pain may reveal some harmful habits and some poor decisions, some healthy relationships you have been keeping or have been keeping, or some character flaws that may need attention and correction. Pain also helps to strengthen our character, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and wisdom are often forged through adversity rather than when we are at ease with ourselves. Pain also helps us to appreciate joy. You can only appreciate joy when you have experienced what is called sadness and sorrow of heart and emotional gloominess. Then when you see what is real joy, you appreciate it more. So that's why they say sunshine after rain. So people who have experienced sorrow appreciate happiness, peace, and success better and more deeply. So contrast this gives more meaning to life's blessings. Pain also teaches us adaptability, because life does not always go according to plan. Things may not always go along your way because a lot of things are beyond your control. So pain teaches flexibility and the ability to adjust when circumstances change beyond your control. 11. Pain can often deepen faith and spirituality, because as you know, like I said earlier, a lot of things are beyond our control. But when you have done all you can do, then you remember there's a supreme being, God Almighty, that rules over the affairs of life. Then you learn to commit your affairs to Him in prayer. So for many people, difficult times lead to deeper prayer, reflection time, and a stronger relationship with the supreme being, God Almighty. So pain often raises important questions about purpose, meaning, and hope in life. 12. Pain also reminds us that life is temporary. There are some situations you get to, some situations like loss of loved ones, people that are younger than you, older than you, people that you just saw yesterday, and you wake up this morning, you just hear the news that so is no more with us. Then you just, what is this life? After struggling, after doing everything. So this is how it all ends. So pain teaches us to know that life is temporal. So it helps us to appreciate the value of each day, each opportunity we have, to use it and use it carefully. And not also to just look at people anyhow, talk to people anyhow, but also appreciate that every life is important. So do what you can today to help that fellow. So pain helps us to become a source of purpose. Similar to what I said earlier, when you feel some pain in some areas, some aspects of life, it lets you to know that what is the purpose of it, or why am I here? Is it to eat and drink? No. It gives you more purpose. That let me be a person of impact, a person of value. Let me be able to leave a footprint. Let me be able to make somebody happy. Let me to lift somebody up today. And things like that. It helps to give us purpose. So pain also teaches us gratitude. Because if things have been going just okay like that for you, everything, no hiccup. But when you start to face some real hiccups, either spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, financially, and out of the blue, or one way or the other, help came for you and you're able to get out of that situation, then you learn to say, wow, wow, and to appreciate the little gifts of life. So pain teaches us that healing is a process. Whether it's psychological pain, spiritual pain, emotional pain, or physical pain, know that whichever class it is, these things don't go off just like it takes process. Either it's emotional healing, it takes a process. Whether it's physical, it takes a process. Whether it's financial healing, it takes a process. Even if you lost someone, somebody just gives you money, you know that before you can recover from the trauma, it takes a process to get out of your mind. See? So it takes a process. So, not all pain is beneficial, and nobody prays for pain, but just know that pain is inevitable part of life. So the lesson we learn is that for you to understand that pain is part of life, then what you and I do with the pain is what determines whether you be gloomy, you be depressed, or you be better off at the end of the day. Whichever form of pain, your attitude to it, your mindset is very important. That's why positive mental attitude counts a lot. Positivity, that's why I say nothing is supremely ultimate in this life. There's always a better version. There's always a way out of every situation. So when you operate with that mind, whatever comes your way, either emotional or physical, know that yes, as long as there is life, there is hope. So pain can be a teacher if it's understood and you make yourself teachable. Thank you once again. This is Nisinuga Reflection, a channel that is concerned about your mental health, about your emotional well-being, about your life, because you have only one life to live.